For years, I built my entire business and my entire identity around one title, Drone Pilot. Today, I'm gonna tell you why I stopped and what I become instead. In this episode, we are going to break down what I call the technician trap and why it's fast path to burnout, the single terrifying question that completely changed my career, and how you can make this shift today to stop competing on price and start being valued as a true creative partner. Most of us in the creative world believe that to get paid more, we need a better drone, a sharper lens, or more technical skills. However, the truth is, your technical skills are probably the least valuable asset you offer. Doubting yourself as a drone pilot is the very thing holding you back from the clients, the projects, and the income you actually deserve. I'm Rod. I built my company Aguia Studio, formerly Perth, from a single drone flight into a business that has been fortunate enough to work with brands like Netflix and Apple TV+. But we only scaled when I made one simple mental shift. A shift that took me from being a technical for hire to a creative strategist. This is exact shift that I'm building my new venture Aguia Studio around. So, welcome back to Above Focus. This is a bit of relaunch for the podcast, and I want to start with the single biggest lesson I've learned in my entire career. It is this. When I first started, I was proud to be a drone pilot. I quit my safe IT job for this. I spent thousands on gear, I had the license, the skills, the passion, and the phone would ring. It felt good. But the conversation was always the same. Hi, is that Perth? How much for an hour of drone footage? And I would give them a price. I would get the job. I would fly the drone. I would send the files. I would send the invoice. It feels like you are running a business, but honestly, you're not. You are in a trap. I call it the technician trap. When you are a technician, you are reactive. You wait for instructions, the client sends you a shot list, and your entire job is to execute that list perfectly. Your value is measured by your time and your skill. But here's the problem. There is always someone with a newer drone. There is always someone cheaper. When you are a technician, you are a commodity. You are 100% replaceable. And that leads to frustration. It leads to burnout. It's why you get clients who hang over $50 because to them, you are not a partner. You are just a line item. You are a cost. And I was stuck there for years. I kept thinking, if I just get the next drone, the next certification, then I will get the big clients. Honestly, it didn't work. Because as Albert Einstein said, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created. I was trying to solve a business problem with a technical solution. I was on the wrong level. So what was the turning point? It was a phone call. A potential client, a large construction company, called me and asked me the usual question. We need a drone video of our new project site. What's your day rate? And they told me, the technician, would have just given them a number. But I was frustrated. I was tired of being a pair of hands. So I took a breath and asked a simple yet terrifying question. I said, I would be happy to talk about price in a moment, but first, can I ask why you need this video? What is the purpose of it? There was a silence on the phone. The client sounded confused. He said, well, we just need a video for a presentation. I pushed a little. I understand you, but what does success look like for this presentation? What problem is this video solving for you? And then everything changed. He said, "Look, we are trying to win a $50 million tender. Our new process is our biggest advantage, but the investors can't visit the site. We need them to understand it. We need them to trust it." Bingo! They didn't need a drone video. They needed to win a $50 million tender. They need to build trust. They needed to solve a communications problem. Suddenly, we were not talking about a $2,000 video. We were talking about a $50 million result. The drone, it was just one tool in the toolbox to solve that problem. Perhaps the final project would require cinematic drone footage, but it might also need ground-level interviews. Maybe it needed animation. Perhaps it needed a strategic script. My brand, my ability to understand his problem and design a visual solution. That was the real value, not my ability to fly a drone. I was no longer a technician. In that moment, I became a strategist. So, how do you make this shift? You stop selling what you do and you start asking why the client needs it done. This is the entire concept from Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. We have to apply this to our client conversations. A technician sells drone videography. A strategist sells a story that wins the tender. A technician sells a 30-second social media video. A strategist sells a way to stop thumbs, engage your audience, and increase your inquiries by 20%. See the difference? When you do this, two magic things happen. First, you are no longer a commodity, you are a partner. You are an investment, not a cost. You are moved from the marketing cost column in their budget to the return on investment column. Second, you get to do your best work because you are not just following a shot list. You are helping create the strategy. You have creative control. You are using your brand, your experience, your drone storytelling skills. This is the entire foundation of my new company, Aguia Studio. It's built on this idea of being creative partner, a strategist, not just a service provider. And it's the core of the drone business training and mentorship I'm building. It's about teaching creatives how to have this exact conversation. This is the shift from Perth, the service, to Aguia Studio, the strategy and mentorship. So, what did I become instead of drone pilot? The title really doesn't matter. Call yourself a creative director, a visual strategist, a filmmaker, a storyteller. I became a partner. I became a problem solver. I became someone who sells confidence and results, not just footage. The big takeaway for you today is this. Stop selling the drone. Stop selling your skills. Start selling the solution. Your camera, your drone, technology, your software, that's just the tool. Your brain is the real asset, your ability to listen, to understand a business problem, and to craft a story that resonates. That is what high-value clients are desperate to pay for. You are not just a technician, you are a creative problem solver. This entire philosophy is what I'm focusing on with Aguia Studio. If you are a creative professional and you feel stuck in that technician trap, if you are ready to start having these bigger, more valuable conversations, I would love to connect. You can also read a bit more about this exact journey on my blog. I wrote a post called How Storytelling Helped Me to Land Big Clients in My Drone Business. I will put a link to it in the show notes for you. This is your journey, your vision, your sky. Take what you've learned today and create something amazing. Until next time, keep your passion flying above focus.